So earlier this year, I tried eating meat and eggs, basically a carnivore diet for 30 days. And I'm going to basically go through the results of those 30 days and tell you if I would do it again or not. And so basically, I was using the carnivore diet as a method to lose weight, right? Because I was trying to cut at that time. And so I was like, yeah, I see a lot of people online say that they're losing a lot of weight, a ton of weight with the carnivore diet, right? And just because intuitively I know that whenever I eat more protein, I feel more satisfied. I feel more like it's just more filling when you eat more protein. And so that's why I started the 30-day carnivore challenge, right? And at first, the first few days, it was all right, but I was also getting sugar. I was definitely getting sugar cravings the first 2 or 3 days, I'd say at least, right? But that's just because I was used to getting around like what 150, 200 grams of carbs a day, and so going from that to like 0 grams was a big change, to say the least, right? But it was bearable, just because I also started seeing the change in weight almost immediately, which, I mean, I know a lot of it is water weight, sure, because you're depleting your glycogen, and so automatically when you deplete your glycogen, you're gonna lose a lot of water weight, because your glycogen holds, like, each gram of glycogen holds around 3 grams of water in your muscles or in your liver as well. And so once you're depleting your glycogen in your muscle and liver, and so once you deplete the glycogen in your muscles and liver, you're gonna flush out a lot of the water in your system. And so I started losing weight. I started to look less bloated. I could see my muscle definition a bit more. And so it was just like momentum that was building up. And this that was the case for, like, honestly, the first week. Like losing like 5 to 8 pounds in the first week of the diet. It felt great, definitely, right? But then after that, and let's say, and just to say, I didn't really feel that hungry as well on the first week, right? And so it was honestly great. I was like, wait, like, oh, there's a reason why everyone's talking about this. Like, I want to keep doing this forever, yeah. And plus, I love meat. I love, yeah, it sounds crazy, but like, I love eating steaks. I love eating eggs. I love eating chicken. I love eating, like, fish, right? But mostly steaks. I love steaks and ground beef. Honestly, I was built for the diet, so it was, the first week was great, and then after that, it was still alright, but it was honestly like slowly on a decline every few days. But that's just because my energy was going low, right? Even though I wasn't feeling hungry, I was feeling more lethargic, and that affected my workouts a lot. I would go to the gym and I just would not have the energy to lift weights, right? My muscles also look a lot flatter because I didn't have any glycogen in my muscles. So they just look flat the whole time. Like, a pump was not even existent. Like, it was, even if I trained as hard as I wanted and like did so much volume, like, it was such a mini pump, right? Like, I wouldn't see any vascularity, and like my muscles just wouldn't increase in size. And so I guess that, like, mental aspect didn't feel great, but it was mostly just like not having energy to work out, right? And not having energy to do anything else throughout the day as well. Even just like walking between my classes in university, just sometimes just felt like a struggle. And that was the case for like the remaining of the month, like week 2 onwards. But it just kept getting worse and worse, because then it started affecting my sleep, right? Like, I just didn't feel like I felt fatigued throughout the day, but I didn't feel sleepy, like especially when came time to sleep. And that's just because I learned later. It's just because my cortisol basically wasn't going down, right? My cortisol was kind of flatlining, but it wasn't going down when I needed it to go to sleep, and it wasn't high enough when I was waking up, which is why I woke up feeling tired, right? And so I would just wake up in the middle of the night like 2-3 times every single day because I just wouldn't feel tired. Like I'll sleep at 10, I'll wake up at 12 or 1 a.m. and then I'll just stay up for another 30 minutes to 1 hour because I just couldn't get back to sleep. And so honestly just felt miserable throughout the whole day. My workouts were not there. I also felt more tired because my electrolytes were not balanced as well. And that's another mistake that I did honestly, is I just didn't take electrolytes. Sometimes if it was really that bad, I would just like take like a teaspoon of just straight Himalayan salt. But I mean that's not accounting for all the other electrolytes that I need, like magnesium, calcium, what else? Potassium as well. I don't know. Yeah, magnesium, calcium, potassium, and everything else. And so just getting sodium and chloride is not enough to regulate your electrolytes, and that's something that I wish I did differently as well. But yeah, all of that combined just made my life miserable. Right? I still enjoyed the meals, maybe not as much, like eating steaks and eggs 30 days in a row, but it was not something that like I necessarily hated, right? But I just didn't like, I guess, spike my dopamine as much. Like I wouldn't get as excited, but I'd still eat it. Like I didn't ever like think that, oh, I don't want to eat this. Like sure, sometimes I just got too full, which was crazy, like getting too full on a calorie deficit. But yeah, but the weight still kept going down, especially the week, obviously, like we said. And then after that, it was more steady, like it was on any regular diet, right? And so I realized that most of it was just water weight. And so after that 30-day challenge, I did lose like almost, what was it, 12, 13 pounds in a month, which I mean, like half of it was water weight, but it did feel great psychologically, at least that aspect, losing that much weight. But after those 30 days, I did not continue that diet, right? And the reason why I wouldn't complete that diet is because of everything that I said previously. My energy was bad, right? My sleep, especially. My sleep, honestly, was the biggest factor. I like sleeping. I don't want to I wake up in the middle of the night and stay awake for another hour. Like it just feels horrible. And like I'm purposely not trying to go on my phone or my laptop to like not stimulate my brain to then make me stay awake even longer. And so just sitting 1 hour just in silence staring into the darkness, right? It just felt awful. And just having no energy for workouts is a big thing as well. And just not feeling energetic at all. Honestly, that's just the whole thing. And thing is, I still basically like have the same diet and where I eat a lot of meat and a lot of eggs, but then like the last 20 to 30% of my diet is mostly like fruits and sweet potatoes and Greek yogurt and like things that actually have carbs in them, things that are still healthy, right? But they help me perform at least to some level, right? Like sure, I'm not getting the biggest pumps in the gym because I'm still in a calorie deficit, right? I'm not I'm not going up weight every single week, right? That's not gonna happen for most people on a calorie deficit. But at least I have the energy to go get a very like a decent to very good workout in the gym. And so even though I'm following a very similar diet in some ways, I still need those carbs. I know some people, at least online. I haven't met anyone in person like this. Part of me doesn't think that people do exist or people like that do exist. Maybe they're just capping online. But Some people apparently they do perform really well on just meat and like basically no carbs at all. So I mean, honestly, well, if it works for you, like that's perfect because you're gonna stay full all the time, but then you also have energy. Like that's sick. That's like the dream life, right? But if you're like me, then you need carbs, right? And even with even with that, I still have a lot of like different protocols and like regulations on like how I consume my carbs, and so I like to have them pretty much only in the last meal of the day, right? In the first meal of the day, like my carbs are like sub 10 grams. That's just because like it spikes my insulin, and um even though I'm not tracking my insulin, but I just feel more hungry if I eat more carbs as my first meal. If I make my first meal exclusively proteins and fats, then I'm gonna feel more full. I'm not gonna get like the big urge to eat more, right? I'm gonna be full for a bit longer, and then sure later on the hunger will come. But just having a mainly protein and fat exclusive first meal, and then like scheduling my carbs and loading them all in the end of the day, like just having 100-gram carb dinner or like a dessert, it helps me a lot, right? And then it also helps with my sleep as well, and so that's just a bonus. So I can actually sleep now without waking up in the middle of the night, which is always great. But yeah, that's pretty much the diet that I changed uh, to and favor a lot more than the carnivore diet. And yeah, honestly, if you want more nutrition advice on how to actually stay healthy, eat whole foods while still getting towards your goal, whatever it might be, losing weight, gaining strength, then just check out my community. It's the first link in the description, and you'll get 100x the level of detail in the advice that I give you so that you can actually hit your goals. And so if that sounds interesting, then I'll see you there.